Welcome back to the greatest adventure ever told. After the mysterious disappearance of the Lazypeon, our heroes, Charles and Gregory, enjoyed a lovely steak dinner. Then they mingled with the locals, and Charles found a friendly traveler who agreed to share the road with them. Let's see where the path takes them, eh?
Well, okay, so get this, everybody. We have received our first fan mail from Sebastian, and I'm about to open it up. So, Sebastian, this small moment in time, this is for you. Sebastian, free rum. 2 volatile rum, a strong alcoholic beverage. He says, "This is totally not volatile. Do not believe what the label says. Best regards, Sebastian. P.S. Have a copper." 1 copper and 2 volatile rums.
That is exactly the same as the note he sent me.
Yeah, so we both have 2 volatile rums now. He's just trying to get us drunk.
Thank you, Sebastian. I appreciate it.
This is your shout out, Sebastian. You found us, so
I
congratulations.
shall drink to you, Sebastian.
Yes, you want to drink? Let's do it. To Sebastian.
To Sebastian.
Alright, so let's get serious. Let's talk about something, guys. So, every episode that we release, me and Moocluck read all the comments. And you guys like to, give us suggestions for ideas for things we can talk about in the next episode of The Greatest Adventure. And one of the things that you guys messaged me about was you wanted to hear about lore, our favorite characters, moments, etc. And it just so happens that me and Moocluck were talking about this, me and Gregory, and we just so happened to run into this dirty, nasty peasant over here. And it just so happens to be...
Hello everyone, it is Roberto!
My favorite
Roberto.
YouTuber. Roberto.
Roberto. 87.
It's good to have you here, Roberto.
Roberto, I am knowledgeable about lore. Let me take a photo.
Okay.
Oh,
Take a
Let me
selfie.
take a picture. Take a selfie. Stand still.
Trying.
sorry, we haven't mastered this yet.
Everybody has hats except for me. This isn't fair.
Style, friends.
Oh my goodness.
I'm
Greetings,
gonna
everybody.
stand over here.
Hello, Nobbel.
How you doing?
Doing pretty good. Welcome to the greatest adventure ever told.
Thank you. I would just want the audience to know that the first thing they told me when I got here, without offering me dinner or flowers or anything, was Nobbel, take your shirt off. And I'm like, what?
Yeah,
Take
dude.
your shirt off.
We
Okay.
couldn't resist.
Couldn't resist. By the way, Nobbel, I gave my word to a particular somebody. A person guessed, or maybe I left a comment and said, that you would be the next guest on The Greatest Adventure. His name was Jordan, and he sent me a message on Facebook, and he really, really badly wanted me to give him a shout out, and he wanted me to tell you from him that he's a huge fan, that he loves your videos, and yeah, he just would really appreciate he really would appreciate if I gave him a shout out. So you know what? I told him I would. And
That was from Jordan?
Jordan.
Jordan, thanks so much, man. That means the world. Well, here I am. Thanks to you.
Yep.
Good job, buddy.
Good
Yeah.
work, Jordan. We couldn't get him here otherwise.
Yeah. Yeah.
By the way, should Gregory be in the party, or we're just gonna let him tag along?
Yeah.
I'm a lone wolf.
A lone. You mean you're a lone Tauren?
Lone cow, yes.
A lone cow. Yeah, the lone cow. Do you have the quest from here, Nobbel?
Nope. I will pick him up.
All right, pick him up. Now keep in mind, no mounts.
Oh, is that another rule?
That's a rule. No mounts.
Yeah, but I'm a classy Tauren. I got a chauffeur.
Oh, okay.
I'm rich, you know? All that YouTube money, you know how it goes.
Technically, it's the guy driving him around, not the other way around.
But he's in a mount.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
Dude, don't you know this is a vanilla leveling series? No mount till level 40.
Ah. Well, to be fair, if we're gonna go old school, we should get Tauren running, like Worgen form for Taurens.
Yeah.
Plane running, it was called.
Mm-hmm. Plain
Get down
Where's
on
my
the
plane
balls
running,
and
buddy?
squid.
I don't have it. I don't have it.
Guess I'll take the spotlight off. But you use the safari hat as well. That's not classic.
Yeah.
Well,
Moocluck.
That's called style, my
And
friend.
Nobbel.
My chopper is
Style
very
can't
stylish.
be limited to a time period. Style is just what I am.
Yeah, okay.
So where are we off to, guys? What quest are we gonna do?
Do you have like Zephyr Hoofs, Huntress Claws, all that stuff?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Well, let's head into the Baron and go hunting!
Let's go kill some huntresses. Some cougars.
And while we're doing that...
Circle of Life, yeah.
While we're doing that, why don't we ask Nobbel some lore questions? Because I don't think he's ever got any. Why?
Yeah, why we
Hey, you're right, why? I don't think Nobbel... Do you know much about the lore, Nobbel?
Yeah, well, I know that I'm widely known for the best PvPer in the world. I know that this is what people like. Don't laugh at me, I am good. Alright, I'm a semi-clicker, I know how to play. Been playing since Classic, don't even know how to keybind my buttons, but we're good to go.
Okay, alright.
I am also a semi-clicker.
Oh my goodness.
Bring that up now. Hey, don't you give me lip, Mr. Keyboard Turner.
I don't keyboard turn. Are you talking about that? You talking about that one time where I keyboard turned because I'm not PvPing or anything?
Yes.
Do not forget, ma'am, that you dueled Lazypeon and lost, and then I dueled him and won.
Nah, there's no evidence of that. You can't prove that.
You can't prove that. It's not like it was in the last video or anything.
Yeah,
you wanna
where's
duel?
Lazypeon now? He's dead!
You want to challenge me to a
Bring
duel?
it.
Oh.
Bring it. Let me show you my awesome PvP skills.
Oh!
Come here.
Look at all that damage you're doing. Oh my goodness.
Oh, you're stunned now.
Oh my goodness, I thought I was fighting.
Stun lock.
I thought I was fighting Moocluck.
Oh, yeah.
All you Tauren
Greatest
look.
PvPer in the world.
All you Tauren look the same to me.
See, it's true.
You guys, you guys are the same. You just have different hair. No wonder I got confused. Oh my goodness.
Actually related.
You're related, yeah. Gregory and Roberto.
From the same clan.
What clan would that be?
The sexy clan.
The Timberlord clan. The sexy clan. Yeah, okay.
You know it, baby.
Oh my goodness.
Hang on. I need to find my best friend item now. There we go, BFFs. Done.
Hey!
Ew.
Well done, clanmate.
Oh my goodness. Whatever. I don't have time for this.
That's rough. I'm already enjoying
huntresses
this
to kill.
episode.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so let's ask Nobbel a lore question or three. All right. So Nobbel, how exactly did how let me think. Let me think how to explain this. How exactly did the first demon hunters learn about, the tattoos and the spectral eyes and, the blindfold and all that good stuff if Illidan was in prison and was not able to train anybody or tell them what, you had to do to become a demon hunter? So how did they figure all that out without him?
That is a very good question, my student, and the answer is Gammon.
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 Of course!
Of course!
What do you mean? How do they know how to fight as a demon hunter when he was in prison? Like, during his time in Outland, Illidan had a whole bunch of recruits of Night Elves and Blood Elves, and they were trained in the ways of Demon Hunter. And those are the ones that are going to be imprisoned by Maiev after the events of the Burning Crusade. They're locked away in the Vault of the Wardens. And then with a little bit of time travel magic, when you pick up a Demon Hunter in Legion, you're going to be sent back in time, like around the time period that Illidan is still active. He sends you away on a little mission, spoiler alert, but nothing much spoiled. And those are the Demon Hunters that are going to be played.
I'm referring more to like the demon hunters that existed in Azeroth before Burning Crusade, like the demon hunters who were, according to lore, inspired by Illidan's example.
Aren't those described in the WoW RPGs though?
Yes, but unfortunately the RPGs are not canon anymore. Unfortunately, they're really good though. I have them all.
Yeah, I think what they are gonna do though, like for those that don't know, non-canon means that once upon a time it was part of the story of Warcraft, but Blizzard has declared it to be no longer part of it.
Yeah.
And the WoW RPGs in general have just been said like those are no longer part of the story; they are now non-canon. But what I think that they're gonna do to explain the whole transformation and the burned away eyes and whatnot is that they're gonna take the information from the RPGs and actually roll with it, make it part of why these demon hunters are out there.
Yeah, no, it's just I'm just grabbing a random lore question, and that's always been kind of a little hole in the lore, like where did these demon hunters come from if Illidan was in prison? So I guess people like the filthy role players on Argent Dawn EU, including me, have just always assumed like, I trained a couple, before like Malfurion locked him underground for 10,000 years, whatever.
He had a few followers, right?
He had a few followers, friends. I guess. Yeah.
But are there any official demon hunters between War of the Ancients and Burning Crusade then?
Yeah.
Or let's say Warcraft 3?
Yeah, there were. Well, actually, that's a good question because not entirely sure, but there are the demon hunters you did quests for, like in Vanilla WoW. Like there was one in the Blasted Lands. There was one in.
Wasn't he sent by Illidan from Outland though?
No, because that was a vanilla quest. Or well, maybe it was.
But if it's vanilla, that means that it's after Warcraft 3, so it's entirely possible that Illidan trained this. But
that is a good point. I have to reread the quest text.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was always under the impression that the Azshara Demon Hunter and the Blasted Lands Demon Hunter were demon hunters that have been demon hunters for a long time. Since
it could be the case. Like your explanation of they were inspired by Illidan, that's by all means possible.
Yeah.
And like I said, there's some information taken from the RPGs, like Illidan's eyes were burned out by Sargeras himself, and then later on, if I remember correctly, and don't quote me on this because I don't remember the RPGs, is that they burned out their eyes themselves, or they just wear blindfolds to make it look like it? Something like that?
It's a ritual, yeah.
A ritual, yeah.
Yeah,
like, you want to become a demon hunter, now go stab your own eyes out.
Yeah, exactly.
Enjoy.
Yeah,
that's metal.
Yeah, it is metal. Brutal. Brutal. Yeah, I always kind of pictured it like, oh, they're inspired by Illidan's example. So it was like, hey guys, that guy over there is really cool and he don't have eyes. Let's cut our eyes out. We'll be demon hunters too. It's like, okay, sure, why not?
Ladies, let's do it.
Crazy little cult, cutting out their eyes.
Sounds like peer pressure.
Peer pressure. It's like everyone was doing it. I just wanted to be cool too. Like,
Gregory, come on, do it, man.
Do it, man. Do it.
I'm the first Tauren demon hunter. Why not?
It only hurts for a second, dude. Just do it.
They should make an NPC that's just blind, and then you ask him what happened. He was like, "Yeah, there was this crazy ritual. It was the '90s, don't know."
Yeah, exactly. Dude, man, it was times were different, man. Dude, man, things were rough after the War of the Ancients, man. Like, people turned to some crazy things in their despair.
I just wanted to
Never
belong.
touch fell magic, man. Never touch it, man.
Yeah.
It's not good for you.
It's not good for you. Yep.
Oh, but that scene oh, by the way, the quest here, cool. That scene that described how Illidan was transformed by Sargeras was freaking brutal. Like, it was lifted up into the air and beams were shot into his eye sockets. And then when he came down, there was like nothing left. Oh, glorious.
Speaking of demons, Nobbel.
Okay. Yeah, a segue. Yeah.
Segue. How do you feel about the tweet that says all demons are anchored to the nether? Which means there's only one Archimonde, one Kil'jaeden, and infinite possibilities.
That they're anchored to the nether, I don't care so much about. It kind of devalues what we did during Warcraft 3, like blowing up the tree to take down Archimonde, and it's like, yeah, it was for nothing, it just returned to the nether. But the second part of the tweet, where they said that Twisted Nether transcends all realities, now that's just... I wonder why and why. It's just, it seems the only reason why they did it was like two things that I could come up with. Is one is that they wanted us to fight against the Archimonde of Mount Hyjal, like our Archimonde, make it significant.
Yeah.
And they wanted to give Gul'dan a way to come back to our Azeroth. Now that second part wasn't necessary. Any mage, any Khadgar, any mage of the Alliance has been able to create portals throughout Draenor that sends back to our reality, so it's not hard to imagine that any guy from Gul'dan's crew can also do it, or any,
Yeah, right, like Gul'dan could just sneak by while no one's looking, right? He could just get a little switcher, like, hey, look over there, woo, and he just runs through a portal straight into our Azeroth. Oh, he shuffles through, because he is old.
Yeah, shuffle.
Like little Kane going.
Yeah.
Yeah, all his followers.
Somebody stop him, quickly!
Yeah. Dude, it would be
He's getting go, wait!
It'd be so cool if when we fight Gul'dan in Legion, if he's in like a wheelchair when we fight him.
Oh goodness.
Yeah.
I feel pretty bad then.
No, dude, it's like you defeat him in Phase 3. You defeat him by pushing him down some stairs. Oh, Nixxiom.
His wheelchair's like armed with like fell cannons, right? Like he's just firing.
He's got like turbo on the back.
Yes.
You can't stop me! And he's like flying around the room on this wheelchair.
Uh-huh.
Burn!
It would be like the fight in what was it? What was the instance in that came with the Sunwell where it was with It was with Kel'Thuzad again, and you were like flying around in the room with the boss. Magister's Terrans, yeah. You're like flying around the room somehow, and you're like chasing him on his wheelchair as he flies around the room. That would be great.
Yeah, I agree with you, Nobbel. Like, when you open up the lore to infinite possibilities, that's just a huge headache.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, it is, and it makes very little sense, you know? Especially when you look at... Usually they do things with a reason, and like, bringing back Archimonde, okay, fine, I can kinda get it, but it wasn't necessary. You could have just given us any Archimonde to fight without a World 3, would have been challenging enough.
Well, see, that's the thing. I swear in Legion, in Draenor, that like there's evidence to point out that this is an alternate Archimonde. Like, there's actually a toy, right? Like, hold on, I can show you this right now. What is it called?
Legion Missive.
That's the one. Let's put Archimonde down up here and see what he says.
Okay. Oh, great Archimonde.
Ah, damn it! I can't use it. It's level 95.
Oh, really?
But basically, he says something along the lines of, in one of his messages, he's having like a little moan at Kil'jaeden, correct? Like he's saying something.
Yeah, he's like, Kil'jaeden, you failed, I'm gonna take over now. Yeah.
Right. You see, now, that doesn't really make sense if he can transcend all realities, because surely that would be no big deal. You'd just be like, oh, well, never mind, we'll pop over to another reality and we'll enslave the orcs there.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Well, that's part of the reason why it doesn't make sense, but on the other hand, we do have hints that suggest that it's our Archimonde. The devs have said that ever since Mount Hyjal picked up a few new tricks, which implies that this is the Archimonde after Mount Hyjal. And in the dungeon journal it says that Archimonde transcends time and reality to fight us there, which is another hint that it's our Archimonde. And if it's not our Archimonde, that's a possibility. But it has to be, because they're anchored to the nether, and the nether transcends all realities. Unless you go with the theory that there are limitless amount of Archimondes. But that means that, well, one, we're fucked, because there are a limitless amount of Archimondes. Like, okay. And second of all, they don't learn. Like, there can't be infinite realities together with time travel. It just doesn't make sense. Not one bit. And I have countless comments of people like, yeah, but if you look at it this way, then it makes sense. I'm like, no, it doesn't really. They should just reverse that tweet and never ever make such major decisions about lore on Twitter ever again.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's say he made the same tweet, but about, say, like, the old gods. Because the old gods are based on, like, H.P. Lovecraft old ones, correct? Like Cthulhu and goodness knows what other names. But they're all about creatures that transcend our understanding of the universe. Would there be as much of a backlash if Alex had said, like, oh, old gods transcend realities?
It depends. Like, transcending realities doesn't matter on its own, isn't a big deal. But when you connect it to what they did, when you open up portals between realities and they start influencing each other, that's when you start creating a portal. As long as you don't notice it and you say, like, yeah, they transcend all realities, but you won't notice it, it doesn't matter. Okay, fine, if you want to play it that way, you could play it that way. But the moment that they started creating portals between alternate realities and they started messing about with it transcends all realities, the major problem that I have with it is that, one, the Draenei origin storyline has not changed. There are two Valens, yet there are only one Archimonde and one Kil'jaeden. And second of all, is that it makes the Burning Legion very incompetent. Surely if they can transcend above reality, surely somewhere in one of the realities they're able to win. Surely. You hope so, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's like, yeah, when you open up the possibility of, you know, infinite plausibilities, then there's so many things you could think about. Like, there could be a universe where Sargeras never contacted the Eridar in the first place. There could be one where Velen took the offer rather than Kil'jaeden.
Exactly.
You just cannot process all the possibilities. And it's just a mess.
I just think they should have never touched time travel, personally. It's always a messy subject.
It is, and Blizzard has never been able to pull it off right, but it's never been that much of an issue. Like, for each time travel story that they tried to tell, they created their own rules attached to it. The one where it did change the timeline, the one where it didn't change the timeline, and now the one where it doesn't change the timeline, yet it does, because now it transcends realities. And I remember Metzen clearly stating at BlizzCon with Warlords of Draenor that this wasn't going to influence our history. Our history was going to be fine.
Yeah.
And what did they do? they changed the events of Warcraft 3. And by the way, we're running across level 90s?
Yeah.
Oh, but these are
yeah,
our guys. Oh, okay.
Yeah, these are like the guys left over from the Baron's Battle event in Pandaria. I don't think they're meant to be visible at the moment.
They should be visible. They're just...
Oh, really?
You just can't attack... Well, I mean, you could attack them if you really want, but...
If you want to die.
Yeah, if you really want, you can get them, but... Oh, dude, look, that peon! Overburdened laborer. He's glowing.
Oh.
He's a star.
Gregory on my map is way back, by the way. Is he?
Yeah, I had to dive into a pool. I forgot a quest. Carry on. I'll catch up.
All right, we'll wait for you up here at Ekanakanaki-chi.
We'll give our horns a little toot toot. But yeah, basically what you're saying, Nobbel, is alternate reality is just terrible.
Yeah.
No, not necessarily. Alternate reality can be a good thing, as long as you don't start making a plane of existence transcend it.
Yeah.
That's where the problem, because Draenor on its own, sure, it felt very disconnected, and sure, it felt very, detached from the storyline. It was a filler, some say, for the Warcraft movie, which I personally have to agree with. It was very much to introduce us to these heroes of old, so that you know who you're looking at when you're watching the Warcraft movie.
Yeah.
But on its own, it didn't matter until they decided, you know what, this Burning Legion that you're fighting is the same as in our reality, and it just started messing with events on our planet as well, and that's where the problem came in.
Yeah.
Actually, Nobbel, how do you feel after seeing the Legion announcement and knowing that half of your prediction in Nixxiom's video came true?
Yeah, everyone likes to talk about that. Like, he was right! Prophet was right!
He is the prophet!
Told you, man. Perfect casting, perfect casting.
It was glorious. For those that have never seen the video before, it was... basically, Nixxiom came to me with an idea for a video, and he asked me, would you like to be the prophet? And you can write your own lines, like predict something for the future. And at the time, it still is, the two most predicted storylines were either the Legion or Azara. And I was like, you know what, this prophet, he's going to go overboard and just going to combine the two storylines, and that's what we're gonna get. Little did I know that Blizzard watches Nixxiom's videos, and we're like, hey, that's a good idea.
That's a great idea.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, the Jurassic Park idea.
Exactly.
That's the great idea. Your idea was okay, but the Jurassic
Murloc
Park
Invasion,
idea was
right? Murloc Invasion from
the
the
Murloc
sea.
Oh, that was a terrible idea.
Oh.
I love that idea. I would love to play as a Murloc.
Oh my goodness.
It was freaking funny to see it during the Legion announcement. I was like, okay, yeah, that's what we predicted. Hang on a minute, it's together. That was very cool.
I went to my YouTube analytics and it was like, your video, the next WoW expansion, has got a surge of views on like this day. And it's like, oh, I wonder why. And I went and looked at the comments. It was like, he was right. Nobbel was right. Prophet was right. I was like, yeah.
Praise to the Nobbel.
Praise the sun. Nobbel was right.
Yeah, that was very... I did it, to be fair, I didn't expect it. I thought them to go for with one or the other, not together at the same time, because it also creates the complications of... You're dealing with so many storylines at the same time. Which one are you going to give the spotlight? Is everything going to be fleshed out enough to give it a proper deliverance? Which is one of the things that I'm scared of about Legion. But the rest, it's also very exciting. I mean, we can be all doom and gloom and like, yeah, Warlords disappointed us, so the next one is going to disappoint us as well. Or just keep an open mind and be like, oh, it's just a game. If it's good, it's good. If not, well, no biggie.
Yeah.
There's plenty of things I'm excited to see in Legion, like lore-wise, if it plays out nicely. I think Gen's finally doing something, and he got his redesign to make him look more like his concept art. And I was like, yes!
The King's Butler.
Yeah, the King's Butler. He finally does something. And then there's Xavius, who I've wanted to see for quite some time, because I quite like themes of like nightmares and psychological horror. And I really hope whatever they do with him in the raid, like, I just hope we're going to see some weird shit.
Yeah, me too, man.
Yeah.
The only thing about Xavius is, like, when they started showing pictures of Xavius, like, oh, the Emerald Nightmare, you're going to fight the Emerald Nightmare. I was like, but in the book Stormrage, that was all dealt with. I guess it was retconned. Or maybe they'll be like, it came back!
Yeah, it's just it came back.
I thought you were going to mention his diddy little legs.
Oh, his diddy little legs. Yeah, those little derps that he walks on.
when me and Nixxiom were watching the announcements, like we went on the website, and they have the models of all the characters come in. And I was like, Xavius, what does he look like? And I was like, the top half of him looks really cool, but he's got like little tiny legs. And I was like, oh, he's not a nightmare lord. You got little diddy legs.
Oh, poor Xavius.
Oh my
He's
goodness.
being mocked already.
Dude, I was hoping he would be like this, like really like. I mean, I think he's kind of fat. I mean,
hey.
he's kind of fat. I was hoping for like just this really epic, cool-looking satyr model, but then he got these teeny little legs. I was like,
Cute little diddy legs.
yeah.
I don't know. I mean, Xavius has been described in so many ways. Like, yes, satyr, but satyr is a boring model, though, in my opinion.
I love the satyr model.
Wasn't he a kind of gnawed tree?
Dude, he was a
in
tree.
The,
Dude,
Yeah, he was
Malfurion-
turned into a tree.
Malfurion
I
was
thought
like,
he was-
fuck you, dude. Turn him into a tree.
I thought he was going to be like some kind of monstrous tree-looking thing, but he's fine. The diddy little legs, I'm happy with them.
Yeah, well, what you said about Stormrage, like, didn't they deal with it? It seems like people have asked me, like, I want to read a novel about this, I want to be prepared.
Yeah.
Like, just read War of the Ancients and read the novel Stormrage, you'll know exactly what's coming.
Yep.
Because those are the two major storylines that they're pulling from. And it seems like those events in the book are not so much retconned as it is repeated. It's like Malfurion gets captured again, we
Yeah.
need to save him again.
Yeah.
And it's like, how? Why does he get captured again? But that's something we're gonna find out in Legion. And to be fair, as other people commented, like it was never implemented in the game, and they're absolutely right about that. It was never shown in the game, and I like it when they put events from the novels in the game.
I mean, it was I mean, you've obviously read the book. Have you read the book, Moocluck? Stormrage?
No, I haven't read Stormrage. No.
Well, I mean, it's a huge event, like this humongous event that like impacts the entire world and like everybody on it, because everybody has dreams and is connected to the Emerald Dream even slightly, and so it was affecting everybody on Azeroth. So it's this huge event, but it just was restricted to just this novel, and it was never mentioned in game like at all. At least not to my knowledge, that like, oh wow, the Nightmare Lord attacked Stormwind and Orgrimmar and Darnassus and blah blah blah, and like all this stuff, and oh my goodness, like the world almost ended. It was just like,
No,
yeah,
it was just like, Malfurion's back. Oh, that's cool.
dude,
Welcome
Malfurion.
back.
That'll actually segue into my next topic to talk about. If you guys want to move away from Legion
Okay.
a little bit.
Yeah.
I was just going to ask the very simple, but feel free to elaborate as much as you want, question of who's your favorite lore character and why, and what is your favorite lore moment and why?
Who you want to ask first, me or Moocluck?
I'm gonna roll for it. 50 plus is you, Nobbel. All right,
Sounds
that's Nobbel. You're first.
Favorite characters. Whenever people ask me this, I usually say Sylvanas, Medivh, or Thrall pre-Cataclysm.
Yes.
But there are so many characters that I like. Like, you can't go without Arthas. I like Varian. I like pretty much everything. There are only like one or two characters that I don't like, which is easier to answer. I don't like Medan, and I don't like Anduin at this point. I think Anduin has a lot of potential, but he needs the storyline to develop further.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll come back to Medan later, and you can explain why people don't like him, just for anyone who's curious.
Because he sucks.
Most people don't even know who Medan is. Like,
Yeah.
it's like, huh? Who's Medan? It's
The
like
question if he's actually just part of the game,
He's
or a part of the story still, because that's the question.
dude, he's,
Yeah, true.
he's that super important character, don't you know?
Mhm.
From the
He saved
manga.
the world. He has all the power in the world. But to flesh out on the favorite characters, like Thrall has this beautiful origin story. And for those who want to pick up a novel for the first time and like, where do I start? Pick up Lord of the Clans. It's my absolute favorite one out of all of them. I'm not going to spoil the moment in it, but it was one of the first books that made me go like, no, that did not just happen. Please tell me that did not happen. Just put it back. Put it back. Didn't happen. I love that book. But it tells about how Thrall escaped his slave life and how he created a vision of the world, and despite having a very bad origin story, still tried to work towards peace between Alliance and Horde. It was beautiful. And as an Alliance player, at that point mainly Alliance, it gave me a whole new insight for the Horde as it is today. Then Medivh, I mean, you can't go wrong with Medivh, right? It's a freaking awesome character from Warcraft 3, the Prophet.
Oh yeah.
pretty much, corrupted by Sargeras and brought in the first horde. I don't know if I'm going the right way, by the way.
Yeah, we're going the right way. We have to go to the top of that mountain right
It's
there.
cool, no. It's the journey, not the destination.
Oh. Yeah, there's that line again.
And then Sylvanas. Yeah, a lot of people often criticize me for saying bad things about Sylvanas. And usually they are the people that want to do very naughty things with Sylvanas.
She's a corpse, you freaks!
Yes.
So?
People love that, man.
So?
She doesn't need to be warm. As long
No.
as she's...
Oh, she can be maggot riddled.
I'm a winter kind of guy. I like the cold,
But for me, Sylvanas, I like the character Sylvanas. I like somebody, a little bit arrogant, but not so much. And that she was turned into the Banshee Queen. She had to find her way in a world that actually didn't want her.
Oh yeah.
And then they took her. Like after Wrath of the Lich King, what do you do with somebody whose whole storyline has been around taking care of Arthas? And then, they wrap it up. They take care of Arthas. So what they did was they took her from someone who tried to fight against Arthas to someone who started acting like Arthas.
Oh,
and I'm
yeah.
like, you're becoming the exact thing that you try to fight against. And time again, people call her out. People or characters in the game are like, we need to take care of this threat. And they can't. Part of it is that she's a faction leader. Part of it is that she has such a massive fan base. But it doesn't take away that, she's doing bad things. She's raising the dead. And then people come back with the argument, but yeah, she's giving them a choice. No, she's not giving them a choice from ripping them out of the afterlife. She's giving them a choice after the fact. Like, do you want to go back to the afterlife? Maybe you end up in hell this time. Or do you want to run around the world and help me kill your former friends and family? Because, all the Forsaken are humans and now they're fighting against the Alliance. Makes no sense, but whatever. They are given a choice and I say that it's a very bad choice, or that it doesn't make a lot of sense to have that choice, because who in their right mind, as a former human, would start fighting against their former friends and allies? Like, why? Why would you do that? Unless you're, of course, a criminal in a past life.
It's very odd how they handle the Forsaken in WoW, because they are the former citizens of Lordaeron, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the Alliance is all just like, oh, just wipe them out. It's just wipe out the Forsaken. It's not like they own this land. It's like, oh, they kind of technically do.
Real quick, is this quest working for you guys?
No.
Yeah, I just used it and nothing happens.
To serve as Tonga Runetaum's eyes. And then...
Lizard!
Hold on, wait, maybe we're doing something wrong.
Let's try again.
Oh, I think we're just meant to bring the eagle right next to him. I think we all dismissed the eagle.
Yeah, somehow we lost the eagle. I'm just waiting for the cooldown to go off, and then we can resummon it. I'm just gonna try to resummon him outside of the circle, though. There we go.
I got an eagle. Come here, eagle.
Alright, come on, eagle.
Eagle! Circles towards the peak. Oh, the eagle goes for it, man. Eagle goes away.
Okay.
Bye, eagle.
Only Moocluck's eagle is doing the thing. Or wait, no, that's your eagle.
Yeah, Nobbles.
Oh my goodness. Yes.
Our eagles are defective.
But
Come
it's
on,
still
eagle.
not counting for the quest, though. Oh, there it
we
is.
go. Oh,
Hey.
Ancestor.
Well done, friend. From here we can survey the land.
Okay.
The winds guide you. I've been expecting you.
I love
Yeah, I
the
was-
classic moment with the Tauren on the mountaintop. It was beautiful.
It is. It's nice.
Greetings, traveler.
But to get back to your topic of Sylvanas and the Forsaken owning the land, I personally disagree with the idea that because they were former citizens of Lordaeron, they own the land. Because when you die, you kind of forfeit your rights, and there are no established laws for zombies. But I do agree that they own the land, that they have a right to it, but more because might is right in Warcraft. If you are able to take a land, if you're able to hold that land becomes yours. Otherwise, all the land should belong to the Dark Trolls, I suppose.
Yeah?
Something like in that
To
direction.
the trolls, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like they were there first, the Murlocs
Oh
perhaps.
no, well, technically the Titans, right? So everything belongs to the Titans. Or
Yeah, I
space
suppose.
dust. Everything belongs to space dust.
Yeah.
Right. So I agree with that the Forsaken should hold the lands, absolutely. But I also agree with the fact that, from a perspective of the other races, like she offered the Lorfamar to resurrect the dead. Hey Lorfamar, during the Siege of Orgrimmar, hey, I see your buddies over there dying. I mean, I could take them out of their eternal rest, if you want. I could turn them into zombies, make them slowly decompose. You could do that, if you want.
And he was like, nah, man.
We'll see.
Me.
See, I've been a Forsaken player since day one of World of Warcraft, and so for me, Lordaeron belongs to the Forsaken by right, in every right. Not even through might, by every right. That land is the Forsaken's, and no one should touch it except for them. Like those filthy Worgen, kick them out.
Oh, this poor Worgen.
Those poor Worgen.
So how do you feel about your queen directly disobeying orders from the war chief of not using the plague?
Fantastic.
Fantastic, yeah?
Fantastic. I hate the living. Dude, like the plague is a gift. You get to be undead. You get to be immortal. You can live forever. You don't get sick anymore. You don't have to say goodbye to your loved ones. It's a gift, you see. It's a gift.
But don't undead slowly decompose though? Even though they're reanimated by magic, they're still slowly dying.
Details.
You get to be a skeleton.
Don't ask those questions. It's Halloween every day in the Undercity. I mean, what more could you want?
I can just hear everybody saying like, "This is Halloween. This is Halloween."
Dude, you know what's coming. You watched the thing. Yep. This is Halloween. It's coming. Dude, quests.
Beautiful.
So to go back to your question, Nix.
Oh yes. Answer my question, Moocluck.
I was going to ask Nobbel what his favorite lore moment was, but I can do mine first if you like.
Okay, Moocluck, you go with your character, and then I'll say my character, and then we'll talk about the moment.
Okay, that sounds agreeable. We'll share.
Okay.
Ew. My favorite lore character is probably Kel'Thuzad.
Not basic campfire?
Not basic campfire? Oh my goodness, how could I forget about him? He brings warmth to all corners of the world. No, I like Kel'Thuzad, mainly because I just find him very interesting that he's like a character that actually chose to serve one of the most evil forces on Azeroth. Like, it's just very strange where, like, the Scourge, I mean, he didn't in his
choose.
story. If you're going to go for that short story where he kind of went there with the intent of overthrowing the Lich King, right?
Well,
And
he
then
went
he
there
got
and he was
there.
like, "Oh God, what did I get myself into? Okay, it's too late to back out now."
Yeah. Well, he still like followed it and like for power, right? Like, he was like, I'm gonna get some of that delicious, delicious, necrotic power. Follow his voice up there, and then he was like, "Ah, damn it, I've been had." But still, he was when he actually joined with the Scourge, he was still quite loyal, right? Like, he had more freedom than a lot of the other undeads. I mean, I don't know all the rules of the, the Scourge, how close the Lich King keeps him on a leash, but Kel'Thuzad seems to have most of his mind intact. And it's just interesting to me that someone would choose to unleash a plague on an entire kingdom, a kingdom that he was a citizen of Lordaeron, I assume.
He was,
He was a member of Dalaran.
Yeah, Kirin city-state, Dalaran, so.
Well connected as well, because he had people like Baron Riven there as his buddies.
Yeah. He was a big figure in like the Lordaeron hierarchy or Dalaran hierarchy as well. And for him to just turn around and be like, "I'm gonna wipe out this entire kingdom," just because, well, for his own selfish purposes, I suppose. Yeah, power is a bit like the human version of Gul'dan, I suppose. But it was also interesting to see him as like a cult leader as well. I mean, cults are very scary. They're very scary things, and him setting himself up as big puppy lich of the Cult of the Damned, and then he's got like, worship the Lich King as a god kind of thing.
Got a rare.
It's just
Got a rare over here.
And that's Goleman's story as well.
Yes, and Kel'Thuzad's like little extra chunks of lore are very dark. I like dark things in the Warcraft lore, and the Scholarman's is one of those places.
Pretty damn disturbing what went on there.
Yeah, so to make sure I'm not going in circles, Kel'Thuzad, favorite lore guy. He's really nice and one of the most honest characters in the lore. Really top-notch guy. Definitely invite him to all the parties.
Yeah. If you want to watch, level 15, oh my. If you want to watch a really good video about Skullomance and the lore behind that place, check out Kaelus's channel and watch the story of, is it...
The Roth family.
Yeah, I mean, I don't remember the exact title. I remember Sakharov, but I don't remember her first name. Starts with an E.
Alexei?
something like that.
I think it's just called the story of the Barov family, right?
I'm not sure, but whatever. The story
You'll
of something.
find it anyways.
The story of blank. Click that
Yeah.
video. Search that in the video section. The story of blank. You'll get it. Yeah. Cool.
Oh, and I should also mention there's the possibility that Kel'Thuzad's still around.
Oh yeah.
Sure.
Can you confirm that, Nobbel? Is that...
Yeah, his phylactery was never taken care of, and as a lich, if you remember the fight in Skolo after the revamp, where you had to take out that phylactery, that thingy on the ground,
Yep.
first boss fight, that never happened. Oh damn, I'm dying. Oh, why does this hurt so
come on.
much?
Goodness.
That never happened to Kel'Thuzad, so somewhere his phylactery is still hiding, so the possibility that he comes back, and I believe in Nostradamus he was like, fools, next time when I come back I'll be that much stronger.
Yeah.
Like all the bad guys say. So yeah.
Naxxramas and
definitely a possibility.
Naxxramas. Only a setback.
We need intel, by the way, from this place. I don't know how we're gonna get it.
It's in the camps. I burned one. There's one actually right there in front of me.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see it.
They're in the little camps, like right here. Yeah. In terms of my favorite character, Thrall used to be. Thrall is definitely one of my favorite characters pre-Cataclysm, just like you said. Pre-Cataclysm, Thrall's story was fantastic. I loved it. I loved Lord of the Clans. I loved Rise of the Horde. I loved all the kind of pre-Cataclysm orc lore. I loved it. Garrosh didn't do nothing wrong, by the way. Just gotta quickly throw that in there.
Blame Throw. Blame Throw.
It was all Thrall's fault. Like, all Thrall's fault.
Mana bombs don't melt Fedamore.
Yeah. So, it was Thrall's fault. But just for the exact same reasons you described, it was his origin story, and it's also kind of the idea, I was going to add this in, but I figured I would just wait till I got my turn, that Thrall is kind of like he's a human in an orc body in a lot of ways. I mean, he's not the traditional orc in the slightest. And the one thing that really bugged me about Cataclysm is when they made him the most powerful shaman on Azeroth. That really bugged me because I guess, I mean, prior to Cataclysm, Thrall was, to my knowledge, a orc who was taking an interest in his heritage and his ancestry and was exploring shamanism. And suddenly in Cataclysm, he was like, oh, he's the most powerful shaman in the world. And I was like, well, shouldn't it be someone else? Like maybe a Tauren or, I don't know, Drekthar, or, I don't know, someone that has years and years of experience. Maybe they're not as powerful, but they have the knowledge. I don't know.
Yeah, but not even the experience, but just the power level that he reaches. He, at some point, goes from a former slave trying to be a war chief to a guy that tells the dragon aspects how to be dragon aspects.
Exactly, yeah.
What the frick? I went there.
Yeah, and I kind of, when it comes to like characters and their writing, my favorite lore character of all is Malfurion. I really like Malfurion, but even he kind of, at least, I mean, in my opinion, somewhat suffers from the exact same problem, but not to the extent of Green Jesus, because Malfurion doesn't get that much screen time compared to Thrall.
That's the difference, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like Malfurion prior to Cataclysm, I mean, he was the first druid, you know, according to the lore, and first druid, and cool. And, hold on, I'm not very good at multitasking.
Yeah,
And,
they kind of retconned that, by the way, although I'm not sure if they retconned.
Yeah, I don't know. But suddenly, you know, he shows up and, you know, again, like, you know, okay, Thrall is the most powerful shaman and Malfurion's the most powerful druid and like blah blah. And I don't know, like, I kind of always looked at, I guess, the Malfurion storyline and many character storylines that, like, oh my goodness, I'm trying to get these things, Moocluck.
You stole one from me!
Okay, okay, I guess that's fair. But, yeah, like, Malfurion, I like characters who power is not determined by the spell you can conjure, but by how you conjure it. So I liked the idea prior to Cataclysm that, yes, Malfurion was the first druid, but there could very well be a possibility that another person came along that just had a better affinity for it and was more powerful, but because Malfurion was the first, he is the wisest. He knows how to use the magic correctly. He's in good graces with Cenarius and Ysera and whatnot. And I really liked that, and I mean, they didn't really, I wouldn't say they ruined him in Cataclysm, because he didn't really do anything. I mean, he did a few things, but I mean,
He took care of Ragnaros.
took care of Ragnaros.
Something.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but
Something.
I mean, he didn't shoot the dragon soul through like Deathwing's chest. I mean,
He did became sort of a dragon aspect that had everybody confused, but yeah, I get it, yeah.
yeah, exactly. And so it wasn't going to be the Earth Warder according to rumor. But yeah, I mean, he helped against Ragnaros. There was that one really awesome moment in the Hyjal where it was him, Hummel, Rune Totem, and Cenarius like all fighting together to banish the Fire Lord back to the Firelands, which was really cool. And then of course in patch, don't remember the patch, Firelands patch, you help in the Firelands. So
Yeah.
Malfurion's always been my favorite character. I like him. In terms of like an unknown character, my other favorite lore character is Gunther Arcanus, who I
You linked that one before, yeah.
Yeah, he's kind of like an unknown character, and that's why I like him. He's the prodigal lich in Tirisfal Glades. He was apparently he was a necromancer in life, and he was so powerful. His necromancy was so powerful that when he was raised as a scourge, he was able to single-handedly break the Lich King's control on his mind just by himself.
Ooh.
And he thought he was the only sane Forsaken, so he just retreated to an island in the middle of Tirisfal Glades, and it's called the Prodigal Lich. So, always thought he was really cool. What's this?
You're mentioning like power. That's actually something I kind of liked about Gul'dan in Warlords of Draenor. That like I'm sure he's very powerful, kind of compared to characters. But I never got the impression that he was super duper powerful. I got the impression that he was cunning.
Yeah.
That's what I kind of liked about him. That he was
The dude
so
summoned
crafty.
Archimonde with the snap of his fingers, though.
Yeah, that's true. He did.
Maybe
He was
Archimonde
like,
helped him on the
There
other
he
end.
is.
Yeah,
maybe.
Maybe Archimonde had some kind of power share thing going on. He did make a pact, apparently.
You
Don't know
made
what
a
right?
pact.
You made a pact.
What kind of pact? To start the next expansion. We're gonna
Exactly.
keep going and going.
You got a contract here, signed by Blizzard Entertainment.
That's it.
Oh yeah. To be fair, Gul'dan, on the one hand, he's like this uber evil. I think, in my opinion, they actually did Gul'dan a little bit wrong, because if you remember the Tanaan jungle, how far are you with the intel, by the way?
Oh, I'm done.
I got
Huh?
my last one. Yeah.
I'm heading.
You got your last one?
Yep.
Okay.
Do you got yours?
No, I skipped mine, but I also need to head the road and join my fellow lore walkers somewhere along the way. But what I was gonna say, like, if you remember Tanaan Jungle, the whole campaign thing, where he's busy with getting the Cipher of Damnation, summon his elemental, he finally gets his mission done after weeks of trying to chase him. And what happens, we take care of his elemental in seconds, and then he just goes, poof, see you later. It's like, if you're this uber evil guy, you could have struck me down. Like, even Garrosh was able to stun me.
Yeah.
Thrall had to save my life. Like, why don't you do that?
Yeah.
Of course, Tanaan Jungle was just tossed in to give us a little bit of content, because they completely forgot about what happened after 6.0.
Yeah.
Dude,
Oh yeah.
that invasion of Tanaan event, man. Do you remember?
Oh man, what an invasion!
Do you remember? Whew.
Yeah, I remember
Back up.
walking up a road and destroying one cannon.
Yeah, I know.
You can.
Although, I mean, the throwback to where you started from, that you came back there, was kind of cool.
Yeah,
But the rest was just like, Blizzard, you really didn't think about this, huh?
You could
What happened? I still wonder what happened after that. What happened?
After what?
After 6.0?
Oh, okay.
Like, where did the content go? Like, you're saying that you plan these things ahead, but what was your plan? This wasn't your plan, right? It can't be.
yeah, something changed internally.
I'm waiting for that soul, that brave soul at BlizzCon to walk up to the microphone and just say, "What happened?"
Yeah.
Like,
Would be a waste of a question, though, because they're just gonna give the same old answer. Like, yeah, oh no, Warlords, oh, that was precisely what we planned. Yeah,
working
no
as
biggie.
intended.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They're never
You
gonna
think
answer.
you want the answer to that question, but you don't really want the answer to that question.
Oh,
Thank you.
right.
You think you want vanilla servers, but you don't. It's like, oh, excuse me. Okay.
Oh, yeah, right. Who's gonna pick up the Doomhammer? You are! Surprise! Next expansion, everybody gets a Doomhammer.
Oh, thanks. What do you think about that, Novel? That you're gonna have the Doomhammer. What do you think about that as a Thrall fan, fellow Thrall fan?
On the one hand, I'm like, meh. everybody's gonna run around with the same artifacts. That's gonna be very meh. It's not gonna be a legendary weapon. It's just gonna be, hey,
Cool.
you got a flaming doom hammer. I got the regular one. That's cool. But on the other hand, there is potential, especially with the whole character progression past 110, with the story potential attached to it. They can really deliver. It's just, potential doesn't exactly mean that it's also gonna be delivered.
Oh yeah. Did they say that the artifact weapons will kind of have like a story attached to them, like as you go? Really?
Yes, there will be.
Awesome. That's
I'm
good.
almost certain that they said something about the dual blades that Death Knights get, that you'll return to Icecrown Citadel to pick up the shards of Frostmourne.
Well, I remember that, but like beyond that, like after you make the weapon or get it or whatever.
Well, no, that's not certain. There's a certain storyline at the start, like the weapons created from the scales of Malfurion. But like I said, there's potential to add storyline afterwards.
I didn't turn in the quest back at the Stagnant Oasis.
Oh dear.
I'll meet you guys at the Crossroads. I can hearth.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll carry on, Chan.
the
But yeah, I
Crossroads
mean,
then.
oh yeah, that's how.
Look, a magical stone that will teleport me back. Woo!
That's law breaking, right?
No, dude, because in the book, Tides of Darkness. No, excuse me, not Tides of Darkness. What?
You're talking about when they talked about Hearthstones?
No. The book about the destruction of Theramore.
Yeah, Tides of War?
Tides of War, not Tides of Darkness. Tides of War. Anduin uses a Hearthstone.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness, the first
That's made the way.
Hearthstone.
Yeah.
It's official now.
Well, technically, that wasn't the first time that I used it.
Oh!
Oh my goodness.
Technically speaking, was the
Oh.
first time recorded history. Now I need to rack my brain if Stormrage or Prelude to the Cataclysm came before. I think the Prelude was before that. So I'm gonna say just before the Cataclysm, and we used the Hearthstone for the first time. Because he was kidnapped by Moira and Ironforge, and he quickly had to go to Fettermore, where, in the middle of a conversation, Jaina and Bane were sitting there, and Bane was like, "What do I do? They took my city from me." And Jaina was like, "Here, have a little bit of money." He was like, "Thank you. Next time when we see each other, I won't blow up your city." Oops.
I did it
Broken
again.
promise.
Okay, yeah, I might just be like combining the two events together. That book.
I'm not
and
sure
then-
if he used it in Tides of War, to be honest. I think it was either Prelude to Cataclysm or Stormrage with the Nightmare, where they looked for the Hearthstone within Stormwind because they quickly got to get out of there.
Yeah, you might. Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
How do you fit all this in your noggin?
Well, I don't know.
Amazing.
Like, the stupidest things I forget.
It's called
Like, I'm
reading,
terrible.
Moocluck.
Reading. Well, I'm sorry, I can't read.
It's alright, I forgive you.
Just for some reason, the stupidest things stick in my head. Like the other day, I realized this. I was working on the legendary questline, and Khadgar said, "Be careful who you trust." And I was like, I remember that quote from somewhere. Who said that? And it's one of Jaina's flavor texts. When you say goodbye to her, she says, "Be careful who you trust." And for some reason, my brain remembers that kind of stuff. It's the weirdest thing.
This reminds me of myself a couple of years ago, back when I was a hardcore role player. Just
Really?
absorbing every single tiny tidbit of Warcraft lore. Even like
Yes.
editing the Wowpedia pages and everything. Those were the days.
Because you get judged if you're incorrect with your lore, right, as a role player?
Yeah, it's a very major thing. You must know the lore to like, create maximum immersion. Ready to go to Ratchet?
Let's wonder.
Yeah. What is in Fungus we trust? Did we do this?
Uh,
No, we didn't plant it.
Oh,
Blizzard, you didn't put a tiny little glowing thing on the map to tell me what to do. You can't expect me to read the quest text. What is this, vanilla? Okay.
But gentlemen, I think I'll leave you behind in Ratchet, to be honest, because we've been going for...
We've been going for 53 minutes now.
Goodness. It's been such a while.
We got 7 minutes.
What can we fill with 7
Well,
minutes?
we gotta.
You wanted to hear my favorite lore moment, right?
Yes.
Have you got anything
Quick.
Let's
more
do
important to ask?
quick, because I have one more question after this lore moment.
Okay, favorite lore moment are a lot. Probably the moment where Varian slapped the shit out of Anduin. That's high up there.
Okay.
But the moment that got me into the lore was the Wrathgate, and I will always fondly remember the Wrathgate. And Tauren Gregory, the guy that works for Blizzard on the cinematic team. If you don't know him, you should definitely check his Twitter or his Twitch.
Did I talk to him all the time?
There you go. He's such a friendly guy. And the other day, he was like dissecting the cinematics that he worked on. There's a hidden gnome in the Wrathgate, and one of the big-ass blue guys picks up a human soldier and starts swinging with it. It's freaking glorious. I watched this cinematic 1,000 times. I've never seen that before.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the first things I noticed. So cool,
zoom
dude.
and enhance that footage. I'm gonna have to find that now.
You didn't notice that either?
No, I had no idea.
Really? That was like one of the first things I noticed. I was like, dude, look. I was like showing my friends. Like, dude, look. Like, I thought that was so cool.
Idea.
Goodness,
I had no
Hawkeye.
idea.
I guess it's because I was making machinima back then, so those little details stood out to me.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, Moocluck, your favorite lore moment. Unless you had more to say. Okay.
Oh, okay. I can't think too many off the top of my head, but I always liked in-game, if you're playing the Undead Star Area and you go to Silverpine, and you're investigating Darius Crowley, the leader of the Worgen in the area, and you track him down to Fenris Isle, and while you're spying on him, he offers the refugees from Hillsbrad a choice of whether to drink his blood and become Worgen, or stay where they are, die, and become Forsaken. And those refugees, they drink his blood, every single one of them, and they become an army of Worgen. And I absolutely loved that moment because it was like one of the rare times where you get to see a darker side of the Alliance. It was so good. That's what I wanted to see from the Worgen. Ever since they were announced as a playable race, I was like, yes, I want to see a more anything goes kind of race. You know, we've got to do this to be victorious against to survive, basically.
Darker side for the Alliance is desperately needed as well. It's such a unified thing right now with little to no drama in it. They need to add that. I'm hoping, say that Magni comes back in Legion, I'm hoping that they're gonna create some drama with that.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, definitely, yeah. He can't just come back and be like, hey, you free? Thanks for keeping the throne warm. Hey!
Yeah.
Hey, my daughter's back, and she's got a kid. No.
Oh, adorable little
Well,
thing.
I'll be. What a cute little tyke.
Well, people who watch my videos should already know what my favorite lore moment is. It's clearly the lore moment when the adventurer went out and killed the 15 pirates just off of the coast of Ratchet.
Oh, I remember that. That was recorded.
That was great. It was in the book, and they made it a cinematic and everything. But no, my favorite lore moment, just like in my top 10 lore moments video, my favorite is Malorn versus Archimonde in War of the Ancients. And I've already explained, I explained the reasons why in there, but mostly it's a very symbolic thing, which I like. You have kind of a character who embodies kind of the like all of nature, like the whole world, if you would, like life in general, versus the Defiler, and the Defiler wins. And also, I forgot to mention in that video that, Malorn, the reason why he jumps in and joins the battle is because he was defending Cenarius. And so it's like, yes, I should have mentioned that he was defending his son, and he dies for it. So I was like, that's such a cool moment. I like symbolism. I do.
Ysera entering the battlefield like, no, and she starts giving people nightmares and shit. Oh, so cool.
Yeah. And the final question I was going to ask, just to kind of get off the WoW lore train a little bit, is there any other like game or book series or something that you're just like, I love this lore, and you are just as big of a fan of it as you are Warcraft?
Not as in-depth as I am with Warcraft. Like, you make videos about it 24/7, so, read all the novels. But other game franchise that I'm really into the story, Kingdom Hearts, as complicated as it is, I tried my best to keep up with the Kingdom Hearts storyline. Zelda, although Zelda is usually the same, at some point Nintendo decided to make a official timeline for the Zelda games, which makes no sense whatsoever. At some point to just say, you know what, even though in every single storyline you can die, only in that one exact moment when you die, it splits off the timeline. It's like, okay, fine, whatever. I still like it. We were talking earlier about Fable. I love the Fable series, even though it doesn't have that much storyline. What was that shooter called? Like the other day they made a shooter where you had like, not the other day, like a year ago, where you had like Booger, the lady tossed you coins all the time.
Oh, Bioshock?
Bioshock. Like I was never into 1 or 2, but part 3 was freaking awesome.
Yeah. That was really good.
Yeah, so those are kind of the games like Isaac. There are a bunch of games for me usually, even Five Nights at Freddy's, even though I hate the game and the gameplay and what it stands for. I like the storyline, I like the speculation that surrounds it. Like, it's very cool to see how something that didn't really have a storyline at first was just picked up by the fans. They started speculating, and it almost seems like around that speculation they started designing a storyline, which is really, really cool.
Yeah. What about you,
Very
Moocluck?
much like what they do with. I was actually just going to go into it. It was like what they do with Dark Souls. Like, all of Dark Souls is just like scattered information. Like you arrive in the game world pretty much after everything has collapsed and gone to ruin, and you can piece together what happened through item descriptions, and even just looking at how the scenery is laid out, like you can tell that maybe something happened or what things. It's symbolism, like you like Nixxiom. There's a lot of that in Dark Souls, and I really enjoy that.
I've been told that Dark Souls has a beautiful, beautiful storyline, but it's very hard to find because of the game difficulty and indeed because it's scattered all over the place.
Yeah, it's true. You do have to like delve into some places to find some of these scattered lore artifacts of just items you would miss if you took a different path in the game. The difficulty, I'm sure, turns a lot of people off, but it's kind of like the game just doesn't tell you what to do at the start, but if you read up a few notes beforehand, like, you can probably get through it fairly easy. Get a good shield. If anyone's listening and thinking of picking up Dark Souls, get a good shield. You can get through the game easy peasy.
And you, Nixxiom.
And me. Funny thing, I actually just realized that originally I was supposed to record this entire thing with my headset, but I actually forgot to set it up, so I've been recording on my Blue Snowball this whole time. But whatever, who cares? It's not a big deal, it really isn't. I've done all the other episodes in Blue Snowball. But anyway, in terms of my favorite fantasy world is definitely Lord of the Rings. I don't think anything holds a candle compared to it. I've been in many a Game of Thrones versus Lord of the Rings debate. And I love Lord of the Rings. I'm a very poetic person. I love poetry. I love to read it, love to write it. I like symbolism, and Lord of the Rings is just filled with that. Like, a whole book is just a big metaphor for a bunch of stuff. And in terms of like other games, games, I really like Elder Scrolls. Not as big of a lore nerd as Moocluck. Moocluck can tell you everything.
I love Elder Scrolls lore.
Yes, he does. But Elder Scrolls is really cool, and I also really like Star Wars lore. Sometimes.
Star Wars. I'm gonna confess something here. I've never really been into the Star Wars lore, and I know a lot of people are gonna be
Get
like,
out! Alright,
no.
episode's over. Get out of here. Get off.
Oh my goodness.
I know there's a part about incest, and I know there's a part about you're my father. I've seen 1 and 2 and 3 and few pieces of 7 and stuff, but I know the basic storyline, but not all the details that are behind it.
So you've
Dude,
never seen
sometimes
all
when
6
you're-
movies?
Nope.
Oh my goodness. Now, when you say you
Sometimes
saw...
when you're traveling through space and there's an attractive woman, she might just be your sister. That's the lesson you have to take home from Star Wars.
Thank you, George.
Thanks, George.
So, real quick, just a question. When you say you've seen 1, 2, and 3, do you mean the prequels or the original trilogy?
I think the prequels.
Oh my gosh. No
Like
wonder, no wonder you never got into
But
it.
the reason for that is that when I was little, my father gave me a little TV with a VHS recorder built in, like the old videotapes, right? And those were the only tapes that I had, 1, 2, and 3. So I constantly replayed them. I was so proud of my little TV. I'm like, this is so cool. Didn't matter what video it was, and I've been told later that it was awful. I was like, nah, it wasn't that bad. And probably if you watch the first ones first, that you're like, okay, this is awful. But for me, it wasn't too bad, actually.
Well, as a kid, it wasn't too bad, but yeah.
It has explosions and lasers, and it's fine.
Yeah.
And lightsabers and stuff like that. And Yoda did the bouncy thing.
Get your laser sword.
You should,
Laser sword.
you should watch the
Shoot
original
lightning.
trilogy. You'll love it.
I should sit down for it one, but like I said, I know bits and pieces, so I kind of pieced together what it was all about. So I'm like, you know.
Dude, you're
Yeah.
softer than sand, milady.
Soft on his hand. My lady.
Novel.
Such beautiful poetry.
I didn't get that reference. Yeah,
It's a quote from the second movie.
I know.
Where Anakin says, "Soft and
It's
sand,
the most
Nobbel."
awkward line in all of the films.
I don't remember it. That might be a very good sign. I know Jar Jar.
Oh, Jar Jar.
I know who that was.
Oh, Misa.
Speaking of Jar Jar, we better wrap this up. So,
Yep.
Yosha Nobbel, thank you for coming on the greatest podcast.
whatever the hell this is.
Adventurer.
That's the
Please,
one.
Please.
That's the name.
Please. Know the name of your own show. Gosh.
Beautiful, guys. Thanks for having me. It was a ton of fun.
Yeah,
been a
definitely.
pleasure.
If you ever want to come on in the future, we'll steal you for another hour.
Just give a shout.
I will.
Anytime.
Alright, I'm going to shout at you tomorrow.
Cool. See you tomorrow then.
Right. Nah,
Goodbye,
not tomorrow. See you later,
Well,
Nobbel. Have fun doing
He's,
whatever
he's
it is.
right. He's flying up into the sky. Oh my goodness. He's going. He's going.
There he goes.
I don't know. Can I fly up into the sky? Hang on, I'm gonna try. I got something. I don't know if I can use it at this level, but I should have it.
Hold on. I'll
Go
give
back.
you a,
Where's my feather?
dancing sound.
Go back to the heavens.
Oh, the feather isn't a toy. Oh well, there you go. Okay, never mind. I'm just gonna run
Just-
away then.
Okay, there he goes.
We'll edit it so it looks like you just disappeared. Oh, he's sparkling. He's sparkling. Oh my goodness.
Oh no.
Oh,
There he goes. He's going
Oh,
back
well.
to his planet. His people
Goodbye,
need him.
Back into the sea.
Back into the sea. Yep.
Wow. What a mysterious guest we had today, Nixxiom.
Yeah, he was. I liked him. He was okay, I guess.
Yeah.
Alright. Well, hope you guys, to the viewers, hope you guys enjoyed watching. We'll definitely try to steal Nobbel again in the future and talk more about lore and all that other malarkey. Feel free to ask questions below, give us things to talk about, and yeah, hope you guys enjoyed watching. There he goes. He's gone.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Farewell. I don't remember the rest.
And goodbye to you, ladies and gentlemen. Until
Goodbye.
next time.
Until next time. See ya.
See ya.
Bye.